Check, check, check. Check.
Check, check, check.
You gonna pull it up, Gage? I know the audio's good. As I get into the stream with all of our 2 viewers. Probably my grandma's. Check, check, check. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Swather Sports Network broadcast. This time we are bringing you Hesston Swathers versus the Pratt Greenbacks in match number 1 here at Hesston. Tonight I'm joined by Skylar Hill.
Jackson, it's good to be back here with you. I've enjoyed my time calling some Swather volleyball. Looks like we're in for a good evening of a lot of action, league action here.
Yep, 2 league matchups. 5 o'clock, we have the Swathers and the Greenbacks. At 6, we'll have the Greenbacks versus Smoky Valley Vikings. And to cap off the night, we'll have the Vikings versus the Swathers at 7 o'clock. Today's match, the Swathers come in with a 7-13 record. And Pratt comes in at 9-13. They're directly next to each other in the league rankings, sitting 7th and 6th in the Central Kansas League here. Smoky Valley is number 1 with a record of 21-1, so both teams are really hoping for a knockoff upset win against the Vikings.
Well, and if you're the Swathers here, you're looking for some momentum headed towards Sub-State. You'll see Smoky Valley at Sub-State. If you're fortunate enough to make it to the championship of Sub-State, you're going to have your hands full there. So good to see them early and kind of figure out what you need to do to beat a team like that.
Yeah, speaking of which, the Swathers will have 6 matches until Sub-State. After this, they'll play at May South on Thursday in a duel there. They'll play a Clearwater tournament on Saturday, and then they'll be at home next Tuesday to finish out the regular season for the Swathers here. Well, if you haven't been able to tell, the pink jerseys from the Swathers are representing Dig Pink Night. A little bit later, there will be a graphic there where we'll give out the information where you can support the Side Out Foundation. Funds there will go to supporting patients with stage 4 breast cancer. So it's a really great thing to help out with and donate your money to.
And this is something that the Swathers have done for several years now with the Dig Pink Night. So it's neat that Coach Peters is invested in that, and our Swathers get a chance to wear an alternate jersey this evening.
Yes. Yep, on your near side from the camera, you'll have the Pratt Greenbacks in white and the Swathers in pink. Tonight's matchup will be a best 2 out of 3. With the first team to win 2 sets taking this first match here in Hesston.
Well, Jackson, why don't you talk with me and our viewers a little bit about maybe your keys to the game here for the Swathers?
You know, the keys to the game for the Swathers, I think all year have been getting these young players for the Swathers some experience and just having them play like seasoned veterans, even if there's the sophomores or even juniors with little to no varsity experience.
As a wise coach once told me that when you're young like this, the first half of the season you're allowed to be young. After that, now you're a veteran, so time to play like one.
Yeah, they have passed the halfway point, and Swathers really can't use that as a crutch anymore. So I think we're about to get under action here. Greenbacks will start with the serve here, start this first set off.
A great dig there by number 4, Brooklyn Humble, keeping the play alive. Swathers able to take advantage, though, and get off to a hot start. Sophia Becker. Oh, was that Sophia that came in for?
Becker in for Johnston,
yeah.
And Humphreys is back to serve here.
Good heads-up play by Keeker, getting it back over the net. There was not a block tip there, so. Swathers able to set up their attack. They go outside to Ferralis.
That was Teese there with the line hit to knock this game back up at 1.
Alex Martin able to handle the serve, and a good outside attack there by Sophia Becker. Still the Swather leader in kills. Is that correct, Jackson?
Yep, the Swather leaders in kills and serving aces, but we'll have Keeker back to serve, who was up there, and that's a pretty nice serve there. Be a free ball coming back for the Swathers. We'll see if they're able to take advantage of this.
Good block there by the Swathers. Able to reset.
Back row attack from Humphreys, just out of bounds. We'll have
Just like Marley Bates in for Brooklyn Humble for the Greenbacks. Sophia Becker really coming out swinging today.
that hit there will go way far, and that'll put Fralis back to serve up 3-2 in this first set, and should go straight into the net for the Swathers' first serving error of this game, and that'll put Teese back to serve for the Greenbacks.
Good serve there by Teese. And that set just a little bit too far for Becker to handle. She kind of had to adjust there on her setup and unable to put it on the court. So another point for the Greenbacks.
Copeland blocked by the net, it seems. They're going to rule 4 hits. Greenbacks will go up 5-3 with Teese still serving here for the Greenbacks.
Good opportunity here for the Swathers. Humphreys sets up the middle attack by Martin, and they're going to call net again. 4 hits on the Swathers. That's back-to-back attacks that have kind of bitten the Swathers there.
That's a nice serve there from Tice. Really short serve. Humphreys made a nice play to get up there, but
Becker able to get a full swing and puts it down for the Swathers. A little bit of a run there for the Greenbacks. Nothing you can't handle, though, if you're the Swathers. Able to put that one away after 4 points, and you hope to go on one yourself.
Yep, with Becker back to serve. And should go another service error for the Swathers. It's really been killer in this first set. They've been unable to get any momentum off the serve there with back-to-back service errors.
And that's not common for the Swathers. You don't usually see them go back-to-back service errors like that, so I'm sure it just needs a little bit of refocus here and get the Swathers back on track, especially from 2 of your better servers.
Copeland's hit will go out, and quite a few errors here for the Swathers early, both the service and hitting errors.
Oh, goodness. Little dipsy-do there on the top of the net and falls the Swathers' way. They need a little bit of a positive to happen there. So fortunate for them, they're going to be able to get served. Corinne Yoder back there for them.
How to be blocked there by the Greenbacks. Swathers were just really unorganized on that point there.
Back to serve for the Greenbacks, number 4, Brooklyn Humble. Alex Martin able to get one between the net and the blockers there. 6-9, your early score here in favor of the Greenbacks. And the Greenback attack goes just a bit wide. Back-to-back points for the Swathers. Alex Martin to serve again here, and she puts a good one over the net. Oh, good set up there. Anna Humphreys with a really nice set there. I think that's exactly where Keeker, if she could put it on a tee, I think that's what she'd wanted every time.
Yep, that'll be an ace from Martin there. Swathers finally getting some serves in and some momentum's going their way here.
That'll knot the score here at 9. Martin to serve again. A little bit of a floater across the net. And an underhand tip there for the Greenbacks. Swathers do take advantage. Harley Ferralis gets the kill. And a timeout for the Greenbacks.
I'd like to take some time to thank the Hesston Community Foundation. All of us at the Swather Sports Network would like to say thank you to the Hesston Community Foundation. Their generous grant is what is allowing us to bring this action to you right now, and without their support, we would not have been able to bring in almost 24 kids into the AV program. So make sure to say thank you to the Hesston Community Foundation, a proud supporter of the Hesston community.
Well, what are you saying here if you're the Greenbacks coach, Jackson? You just give up a pretty hefty run yourself after going on one. What kind of gets you back in sync here?
Yeah, well, I think you just got to communicate on that serve. You know, they've struggled to return the Hesston serve when Hesston's got it in, and to be able to take the lead back here, they're going to have to figure out Martin's serve and be able to get a good attack off of it.
Looks like they're going to get Pratt for being in the net. And that's a 6-0 run for the Swathers and counting. Martin puts it across, sets it up for the Greenbacks, and a tip, and that'll end the Swather run. Back to serve for the Greenbacks is going to be Gabby Gatlin, the 5'5" sophomore.
For that hitting error from Johnson, I'll knot it up at 11. Gatlin serve, she'll go float right to the middle for Alice there, and they'll go, Humphreys will go right back to her, and she'll put it down there.
Oh, great effort there by Corinne Yoder. You know, good effort on both sides there. Corinne kind of flying all over the court, saving a hit there from the Greenbacks, but Greenbacks able to return and ultimately get the point. Back to serve here for the Greenbacks, 27. I don't have that on my roster here, Jackson. Must be a number change.
Yep, nice hit from Ferralis there. Score the point. That'll put Keeker back to serve, up 13-12 here. About halfway through this first set.
Well, kind of wide open there in the middle of the court. I'm not sure if there was maybe some miscommunication on the Swather defense there, but that's definitely a part of the court that you're going to have to cover.
Yeah, they were hugging the line a little bit too much, in my opinion, at least, and that just left the middle wide open there. And Pratt hitter did a good job to take advantage.
Good job by Humphreys to get the ball back to the middle of the court, but the swing goes a hair long for Keeker, and Pratt on a little bit of a run themselves again.
Yoder with a nice placement on the back row attack. Will get the ball back to the Swathers and Ferralis, a 14 all.
And I'm not sure she wanted to hit that ball. It looked like it was going to go wide, but no communication by the Greenbacks, and ultimately she decided to. And a quick ace there by Ferralis. What's one way to flush your service there? Why don't you come right back with an ace?
As long as you're able to even them out, do a good job.
One too many there by the Swathers.
That's a big break for the Swathers. Teese was able to go on that long service run there earlier in this first set, and to be able to break her pretty early is a big deal to get Becker back there.
Good serve there by Becker. Caused a little miscommunication by the Greenbacks too.
She'll go back with the service there. That's 2 for Becker, you know. They have to be able to get her service in to be able to compete against Smoky Valley later tonight.
Well, watching her warm up this evening, I watched her serve a couple out of bounds, so I don't know if she just lost a little bit of field tonight, but yeah, like you said, that can't happen against a good Smoky Valley team that you're going to see in just a few minutes. Good job by Brent Johnston recovering there. Oh, great block by the Swathers. Who was in on that?
Martin and Copeland in the middle, I think, there. That was a pretty authoritative block there.
That's more instinct than anything to try to hit that ball, but it was obviously going out if Corinne Yoder lets that one go.
Yeah, that ball is coming at you, and it's bang, bang, and it's probably the right decision to try to play it, even if you did know it was going to go out.
Just a good setup there by the Swathers. All starts with the pass. That's one thing I've noticed with this Swather team. If they can handle that serve and get a good pass, they typically have a good offensive attack. Would tell you the same thing.
Yeah, it all comes down to that first hit.
Little back row attack by the Greenbacks. 2 Swathers in on the action. Corinne's gonna have to throw it a long way. Comes up just short.
Almost got it there.
(19-18) in favor of the Swathers. I'm not sure Katie meant to put that one back over the net. I think she was trying to set up another attack and just sailed on her a little bit.
Yeah, I think she'd like to have that one back for sure. Well, that'll knot it back up at 19 in this first set, and that'll be a nice short serve to Frous there. Humphreys try the dump set. She'll set up Frous here again, and be set up for Teese there.
And the race to 25 begins now. Jackson 19-20 in favor of the Greenbacks. They go with a wide serve there and kind of throws off the Swather attack. Oh, wow. Great effort there by the Greenbacks to even get that third hit over the net. But Katie Keeker sees an opening and goes ahead and puts it down for the Swathers.
Yeah, well, Humphreys back to serve here, knotted up at 20, trying to take this first set here. You know, rule that a tip off Swather blockers there. And it'll come back to the Greenbacks up 21-20 here.
Got to handle the serve here, Jackson, especially this late in the match. Good work there by the Swathers.
Teese's dump set's gonna go into the net there, and Keeker will serve up 22-21. That'll be a lift there after a couple nice serves from from Keeker. And Pratt coach is going to use their second timeout. This time, we'd like to say a big thanks to the Swatherd Power Club for supporting all Hesston High School activities and athletics. Did you know that the Swatherd Power Club is the one and only Hesston High School Booster Club, and that anyone who signs up to be a member automatically enters a student of their choice to win one of 2 $1,000 college scholarships? Right now, you can join the Swatherd Power Club for free. Look for the Swatherd Power Club on the Hesston High School website menu or visit them on Facebook.
Keeker's going to try to bring this thing home for the Swathers. Back to serve. Another good one by Keeker. Something looked off about that tip, Jackson. Maybe it's just our vantage point, but it kind of looked like she carried that over the net.
Yeah, pretty much dragged it across her whole body, but we're not the referees here. Almost a costly miscommunication effort, but hit there from the Greenbacks will be out. Frowse will try to serve out here at the set point.
And the Swathers will take the first set here against the Greenbacks, 25-22.
Yeah, really nice effort there from the Swathers after some early service errors and hitting errors. They really cleaned it up in the later half of that set and were able to kind of take control of that set.
Well, and especially in these 3-game sets, getting that first game is really important. Puts a lot of pressure here now on the Greenbacks because now it's a win or die set here in set 2, and you'd rather be on the good side of that than the bad. So
yeah, you have to win the next 2, and there's really no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And like we said a little bit earlier, tonight is Dig Pink Night here in Hesston. And we'd just like to remind you that all donations from Hesston High School's Dig Pink Night will benefit the Side Out Foundation. Funds raised go towards Sides Out game-changing clinical research, specifically for patients with stage 4 breast cancer, the most advanced form of the disease and the least funded area of research. Your supports can successfully add time to the lives of those living with stage 4 and give them more memories with their loved ones. Go to giving.sideout.org/campaign/16952 or scan the QR code on your screen to make an online donation directly to the Side Out Foundation. It's really a great cause that the Swathers are supporting tonight.
yeah, that's awesome. It's good to see. Put a little bit of selflessness out there, and the Swathers able to come together for one really, really nice cause. So thank you, Coach Peters, for always supporting that and being the driving force, and for the players to buy in and do something bigger than themselves, which is really neat to see. Well, if you're the Swathers here, what are you thinking? You win the first set there. What's your goal here, these first 5 points? I think you get off to a hot start and maybe try to put them away early.
Yeah, I mean, you got to believe that if the Swathers play clean, they're probably the better team. As you know, you really didn't feel like the Greenbacks won too many of those points, as that the Swathers lost a lot of those points in that first set here.
Good block by the Swathers. Keeker and Becker in on it. Sets up a little tip there. Was that Humphreys that was able to just tip it over the net?
I think that was Ferralis. But yeah, nice tip to avoid blocker there in the middle for Pratt.
Humphreys back to serve. The old double setter action there for the Greenbacks.
And that block off Becker's hit will go out of bounds. Starting the Swathers on that hot start that Skylar predicted here.
And I think if you're the Greenbacks, it may be worth using a timeout this early. Just you don't really want to have one of those big deficits. Yeah, it's 25 points. You got a long way to go, but you may want to put this thing together as quick as you can, especially when you're in a break all set here. And
yeah, I definitely think you have to be thinking about it if you're the Pratt coach. But as long as Humphreys keeps back and picking your defense apart, and that's what she'll do there. But managed to make a nice recovery there.
It's like Kayla Espino with the good kill there for Pratt.
Back row will go right off the block, and Swathers will go up 5-1 with Keeker back to serve here. Set number 2.
Short serve there by Keeker. I think Coach Peters saw something he liked there and able to dial up the right serve for the Swathers. We'll get a substitution here. 23, Sierra Dunlap in for Olivia Swift.
Now it's the second time in a row they've gone short in that little gap there. He won't go there again, but still a nice serve. And
oh, good block by the Swathers. Just barely out, but he had a couple Swathers in the right position and able to block it back across the net, but just falls a little bit outside. More unfortunate anything there for the Swathers.
yeah, it's tough when that ball just barely sneaks over the net there. And
oh, wow.
nice little lefty action from Copeland there. Just tips that one to the side.
I don't think anybody saw that one coming, and she found just the smallest sliver of opening on the court. Harley Ferralis with her second service error. And that's what you have to avoid if you're the Swathers, in my opinion. Kind of things are going your way, and for you to be able to put them away early, you have to avoid some of these silly errors. Because you can live with stuff like that. That's an aggressive mistake there by Becker. It just goes a little bit outside. But it wasn't an error by any means. So.
Yeah, you just can't miss serves. Just giving the ball back to the other team, and that's another mistake. And Martin's passing over the net, and Pratt's going to take advantage. And they'll only be serving down 6-7 after that quick start from the Swathers. Pratt will give it right back with the service error, and that's a big break for the Swathers there. I'll send Becker back to serve, and we'll see if she can get her service in for, I think, the first time today. Maybe not.
Becker able to have back-to-back serves, serviceable there for the Swathers, able to set up the attack, and they go to Martin on the outside, but she's unable to get that one over the net. I think she'd like to have that swing back.
We'll have T serving down 7-9 early in the second set. She'll go to Elliott, and Frowse will set up Copeland on the back, and miscommunication there from the Swathers.
And if you're Feralis, that back set is not a bad idea there, but with a left-hander, the one thing you can't do is just miss long. She can go get anything on the inside, but if you miss long, it puts her in a pretty poor position to make a play on the ball. So. And here come the Greenbacks on a little bit of a run themselves, tie this thing up at 9. And wouldn't you know it, Teese back leading the charge again for the Greenbacks, the freshman setter.
Been really successful with Teese back there serving, and just been able to find holes in the Swather defense, but they're unable to that time. And one thing I noticed in that first set was they continued to go to Teese in that back row there, so she's unable to get that second hit and set it up, and worked well for the Swathers, but now she's back in the front row there. And
yeah, you could definitely tell they wanted to target Teese. They must know that she's absolutely their best option to set, and that's where if you're the Swathers, the luxury of having two setters on the floor at the same time it can be a really big advantage for you. So.
Especially when both your setters are pretty good back row passers too.
Oh, good effort there. Swathers unable to get tight enough to the net there, and it just slides between them.
Arnhem blocked at the net there.
Greenbacks just get it over to set up their defense. For Alice to Martin, sets up the Swather attack on the outside there. Martin able to put it down, and looks like she's got a short memory after a couple missed swings.
Yeah, Alex Martin's definitely going to take the full swing every time, and I think we're actually going to have her commentate this middle game along with Harley Feralis between Pratt and Smokey. So if you're a Pratt fan, make sure to stick around for that. I'm sure it'll be very interesting. Blocked there by a combination of Keeker and Humphreys. Martin will continue to serve after this quick break. At this time, we'd like to say a quick thank you to the Hesston Pharmacy. Hey, Swather fans, thanks for choosing the Hesston Pharmacy. When you support your locally owned and operated pharmacy, you make it possible for us to pass it on to Hesston kids with ads like these. Thank you, and go Swathers.
Well, it's interesting here, Jackson. Swather's big run in the first set, sparked by Alex Martin. I think she had a 6 or 7 point run there as she's serving, and now she's working on 4 here for the Swathers, 3 with her serving. So Alex may be the catalyst to some of these Swather runs. and you ride that as long as you can, and I'm sure she's excited to get the ball back in her hands and send one back over the net.
Yeah, it's kind of been the same story both sets. Tease managed to make a decent-sized run for the Greenbacks, have to take the lead, and then Martin got them right back, and Swathers kept the lead over since then in the first set, and we'll see what they do here. Rouse is blocked there, and Martin's going to be unable to recover that one. They'll cut it off at 3 there. For the Greenbacks, you have to be happy with that timeout and service change.
This will be Brooklyn Humble back for the Greenbacks to serve. Good top spin jump serve there. And Anna Humphreys will get her turn. Sophia Becker back in for the Swathers.
Humphreys decided to let that one drop and just caught a bit of the line. Point will go to the Greenbacks.
Good job there by the Greenbacks recovering. The old chaos rally here, Jackson.
Swathers will take advantage there. Those are one of those points where you feel like the momentum can shift either way for whoever wins them. And the Swathers will take it, and
Alice will set up Becker on the outside. That tip by the Greenbacks will give the point to the Swathers, and that'll be a kill for Becker.
back row attacks blocked there by Copeland. And they'll go set up Copeland. Gets it over the blocker there.
And I think they're going to get Becker in the net. (17-14) in favor of the Swathers. Pratt to serve. Short serve. Corinne to Humphreys. And the Feralis swing is just a hair wide.
Yeah, big break for the Greenbacks. Really had no blockers there, and Feralis just missed the hit there.
Standing swing by Becker, and actually a pretty good one. Pratt was just happened to have a couple blockers there ready for a full attack. So, and a service error here by Pratt. Pretty fortunate for the Swathers. It looked like Pratt was poised to go on a little bit of a run themselves. So
yeah, that's a big break. Now Feralis back to serve, who hopefully is going to be able to rattle off a couple of aces if you're a Swather.
Right down the line, really nice serve. Great job there by Feralis. Coach Peters dials up the middle serve. I think if you're Pratt, you probably feel pretty good about being where you're at in this game, because the Swathers definitely haven't taken advantage of anything up to this point and haven't been able to put you away. So 20-17, I think is a good spot for the Greenbacks to be in. If you're the Swathers, you need to be the aggressor here and just go ahead and put this game away.
Yeah, I got to go for the kill shot here if you're Becker, even though you've struggled with your serve a little bit.
And an ace there by Becker. Greenbacks are going to go ahead and take a timeout. I think it's a good call there by the Pratt head coach and get her team organized here for the final stretch of this first match.
I'd like to say a quick thank you to the Fuquay Insurance Group for your support to the Swap Sports Network. Make sure to check out Fuquay Insurance for all your insurance needs. Well, down 5 here. What do you think the Pratt coach is telling her team right now?
Hey, find a way to get a point here. I think obviously there's no 5-point play in volleyball, so find a way to get a point here. Get serve on your side, and at that point you got to be maybe a little bit more aggressive with your serves and try to get the Swathers out of position to string a few together. But it all starts with having the serve on your side, and so everything you can to set up your best attack right here is the best move for the Greenbacks. And there you go. Well, wouldn't you know it, Teese next up in the rotation on the serve. That's when the Greenbacks have been their best.
Yeah, that's where you want to be. The Greenbacks coach. And it'll be a free ball coming back. That hit will be in, and Greenbacks are crawling back into this second set here, trying to push this game to a third.
Well, and you got a lot of game left. But that is the one thing, if you're the Greenbacks, that's just the one thing that is going to neutralize any sort of comeback that you're trying to put together. So yeah. Fortunate break for the Swathers. Now you got to go take advantage.
Nice play from Martin there to go get that one after the tip from the Greenbacks. That hit will go out, setting up match point for Yoder to try to serve out here for the Swathers.
Good serve there by Yoder. Back row attack here. And that one's going to be just wide, and your Swathers able to take the first match of the evening here in some Central Kansas League volleyball action.
Yeah, if you're Coach Peters, you have to be happy with that. I mean, you were a little sloppy at the start of both games, but, I mean, you managed to pull it together and beat a pretty solid Pratt team, and you're set up to play Smokey Valley later tonight, and you got to feel that you have a pretty good shot.
Well, in winning that is a big deal. So winning in general, you can't ever overlook that. But I think Coach Peters is aware just as much as the next guy that Swathers are going to have to clean up a few things in order to compete with a really, really solid Smokey Valley team. So I'm sure that's things he's going to discuss with his team in the locker room, and they'll have a little bit of a break here before they take on that stingy Viking squad. So.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to game number 2 here at Hesston. We have the Smoky Valley Vikings versus the Pratt Greenbacks at the 6 o'clock game. Tonight, to commentate for you, we have special guests, Alex Martin and Harley Ferralis.
To start off the game, Pratt will be in green and white jersey, and they'll be on the near side of your screen, and Smokey will be in black and will be on the far side of your screen.
Smoky Valley's record coming in is 21-1, and Pratt is coming in with 9-13. Smoky Valley is sitting number 1 in the league, and Pratt is 7th.
No, you're 7th. Pratt's 6th.
Pratt is 6th, and just kidding, Hesston is 7th.
Harley, Smokey has some hard hitters. What is Pratt going to have to do to win this game, or to at least stay in it?
So one of the players to watch out for is number 17, I think, Abby Rose. They're going to have a big block on her because she will jump over the block, if anything. So lots of scrappiness tonight and just going after everything.
I think Pratt will definitely have to play their defenders on the sidelines to get those middle hits dug up.
Yes, and I'd say their best hitter for Pratt is number 9, Lauren. She leads in a lot of the kills and total blocks.
Pratt is the visiting team, and they'll start off with a serve by number 20, Gabby Gatlin.
Oh, with a kill by Maddie Toll to start off the game for Smoky Valley.
That was great placement on her part.
Serving for Smoky Valley is McKinley Johnson. With a deep serve there, Pratt chases it down. Given a free ball, Smoky Valley should be able to put it down.
Back row attack there.
And that is out of bounds by Pratt. Free ball from Smoky Valley. Hopefully Pratt can put this down. Set back row. And a kill from Smoky Valley, number 14, Aubrey Boldra.
Pratt is going to have to put up a big block to stop any of those Vikings hitters.
And an overpass, and Abby Rose puts it down for a kill. You really just can't do that playing Smoky Valley. You have to eliminate those errors.
Especially not over the middle where Abby Rose is camping out.
And another block by Abby Rose.
Yeah, Pratt is going to have to play smart here. They're going to have to get around that big block.
Miss hit, giving Pratt their first point of the game.
Out of bounds by Smokey.
And a dump.
That was a good swing from Smokey, but was unable to place it in bounds.
Pratt's got to keep up the comeback with a strong serve here from number 27, libero.
As long as they can keep Smokey out of it, they won't be able to utilize Abby Rose there in the middle.
All right, serving for Smoky Valley, got number 14, Aubrey Boldra. Good dig. Push to the corner to get that point right there for Smoky Valley.
That was a really good hit by Lauren Colm. She finally was able to get around that block.
Good placement on the serve with an ace for Aubrey.
The Vikings just got to keep Pratt out of system, and they won't be able to set up their hitters.
Another overpass. They set it up to outside. And a kill by Addie Heitstritt. Good serve. Right side hit with a touch. That's out of bounds by Abby.
Hey, if you can't swing around the block, utilize that block and tool off of it, or at least get it so the block goes out. Back to serve for Pratt is number 9, Lauren Colm. And a serving error by Pratt.
Against Smoky Valley, you really have to get your serve over the net and allow them to make mistakes on their side of the court.
Exactly. Back to serve is number 17, Abby Rose for the Vikings.
Tight ball. Bree Franklin takes it over.
Again, you cannot put those balls tight to net. They have huge blockers.
I believe Bree Franklin is committed to Kansas Westland.
Yes, I believe she is too.
Very exciting. Out of bounds. Abby Rose leads in kills for Smoky Valley and blocks. And getting another ace for their team.
Timeout by Pratt.
All right, we have a shout out for Maddie Toll's mom. Devin, hope you're doing all right. Served by Abby Rose, miss hit. Libero Avery is going in for Smoky Valley, and number 3 for Pratt is with serve. That's down the line by Addie Heitschmidt. Very controlled ball. She's placing that.
Back row attack there.
Put down by Bree. Pratt's really got to get their block closed on Smoky Valley's outside and middle hitters. They are able to put that down wherever they want, given the right set.
Good way she finally got around that block. That is huge against Smoky, is getting around their huge block.
Well, girls, from what I've seen, is this has been utter domination from Smoky Valley. What are you guys going to have to do to prevent this happening next match?
We're going to have our block closed. That way our back row defense can clearly see where to go. But we just got to get a big block and play on the sidelines.
Smoky Valley is a pretty good team all around. So as long as we are not tipping and placing the ball where it should be, we should be all right tonight. Good dig by Abby Rose, set right back to her for a kill.
Abby Rose is a very dangerous player, so all night we're going to have to keep a block on her to be able to stay in the game.
Big block by Smoky Valley.
Nice block there by Pratt.
Seems like all in this first set that Smoky Valley has been able to keep the Greenbacks off balance with the service game. Is that how the Vikings are serving, or is that more of a problem with the Greenbacks defense?
I believe that Pratt's got to read the ball just a little bit better before it comes over the net.
Smoky also has some really tough servers, but defense could definitely be better. Back to serve for the Vikings is Bree Franklin. Good hit by Lauren Colm. She was able to utilize that block and put one down. Hitting error by Abby Rose.
Pratt's really got to consume this energy and get a start going on their comeback.
Back to service number 20, Gabby Gatlin.
Yeah, at this point in the match, or as a volleyball players, I want to know, but are you really playing for the next set and just trying to get some momentum going into set number 2, or do you still think in the game of volleyball do you have a shot in this first set?
Volleyball is a game about mistakes, and so I believe that we have a shot. You can always come back and you can get them out of system, but that comes a lot with energy. So in the middle of a game, I'm really looking for the next point, and I'm not thinking much about the next set.
Yeah, you got to play in the moment. You can't be thinking about what's like the next set. You got to be thinking of what's in the moment because, like Harley said, it's a game of mistakes. And if you're not thinking in the moment, then you're going to make that mistake.
Well said from both of you there.
And an ace by Kinley Johnson.
Put the Vikings up 20-10, looking to close out this first set. Serving for the Vikings is Johnson here.
Back row attack from Pratt. That's going to go out of bounds.
Kinley for Smokey Valley, it leads in serving aces, and that's really who you want to be serving right now in a game-tight situation.
If you're Pratt, you really need to tool off those blockers to get a point, because if you swing right over the net, it's going to get blocked, or if you swing way over, it's going to go out. You got to really utilize those blockers.
Explain to the viewers out there, Alex, what a tool is.
It's like when the hitter hits the ball off the top of the blocker's hands and it goes out, or it basically like stops the ball for them.
It's being smart about placing your hit. You can use if it's a big block, you can use them and really just tool off and make it go outside or wherever you want, and you can control that. Oh, big block. And Abby Rose comes back with that. Good placement by her on that.
She has some great net play. She is like a rabbit. She can jump out of the gym.
Oh, wow, and an overpass by number 17, Abby. Hopefully in the next set, Pratt reduces the amount of overpasses they have and doesn't feed that into Abby.
So what's the effect of having that blocker there in the middle who's everywhere and is able to put down those shanked passes there?
It really gives the team energy when that happens. It's a big momentum change, and as a passer, if I were to do that, it really crushes my spirit, and I know I get down. So when that happens, we make sure that we get that energy and we get that rolling so that we are putting ourselves in a better position for the next ball.
And hopefully if you realize you overpassed it, you got to get down and ready, because that ball's coming back at you, and it's coming hard.
Yeah, one thing I've realized watching and commentating volleyball this past year is volleyball is definitely in the game of momentum, and if you're able to keep the momentum, you have a very good shot to win, and if you lose the momentum, it can get away from you in a hurry.
Exactly.
Volleyball is a very emotional sport.
Let's take a quick break from this game to look a little bit back to the Pratt game. You guys managed to take it in 2 sets, pretty relatively close. What are what are a couple things you guys felt that you did well in that last game against Pratt?
We really came out strong and decided to hit tonight, and Sophia Becker really put the team with a lot of energy, placing that ball for us. That was really well. We could probably work on our serving. That comes a lot from my mistakes. But that's something that we did well. Alex, do you have anything to say?
From the Pratt game, I think our serve receive was pretty well. There's a couple of mistakes, but here when we play Smokey, we're really going to have to limit those areas because as you just saw there, Abby Rose will put a ball back down if we overpass it.
So you kind of got to it there, but what is one thing you're going to have to improve upon to be able to beat this really good Vikings team?
Coverage, because they're going to have those strong blockers, so we're going to really have to make sure we're up and covering so we can pop those balls back up that do come off of blocks. We're also going to have to improve our placement of our hits to either, like I said, tool off the block, just go where their blockers aren't. If we have to tip, we're going to have to tip very smart because they are a scrappy team too, and they'll pick up a lot of stuff we try to put down.
And so looking at your sub-state a little bit, if you've seen the rankings, you're likely going to end up with a second-round matchup with Smoky Valley. What are you trying to get out of this game to prepare you for that sub-state matchup?
Good question.
It's okay if you don't have an answer.
What we can gain from this game is just really reading out the hitters. They're very good hitters, and I think if we were able to really work on our blocking tonight, that would really transfer into Saturday at sub-state. And that could definitely help us then if we could get a good touch on anything that slows the ball down. We are given the chance to really put that into play.
Back to action here. They'll set up Combe and shook off the block there. Rose will put that one down. Nice quick set there.
Back row attack there by Carrington Haxton.
Abby's able to put that down with a clean set.
As Pratt, you cannot be sending free balls over. That's what's going to happen each time is they're going to be able to set up a perfect set for a kill.
Good deep serve by Kinley Johnson.
If you're Pratt, are you committing more blockers to Rose after she's been pretty dominant in this first set?
Yeah, so when a hitter is really scoring off of us, we like to cheat just a little bit, and we'll move our either outside or right side in with our
Good
middle
hit there
block
by Pratt.
and be able to really try to shut her down. With her, it's hard to see where she's coming in to hit because she's able to hit each side of the court. So, yes, we would move our blockers in.
Abby is a very dominant player offensively. And so we're going to hopefully move that block in and then pull our defense to the corners, hopefully pick up those balls.
Who else are you worried about from an attacking standpoint if you're facing the Vikings?
Addie Heitschmidt is very good at placing the ball and really smart plays by her. And I'd say Maddie Tola is a strong right side for the Vikings as well.
Exactly. Bree Franklin, her strength really comes in blocking, and she'll also put balls away from the middle, but that's a big blocker for Smokey. If I was Pratt, I would utilize this time now that Abby Rose is in the back row to really do some stuff offensively.
No touch on that. Pratt's really got to keep it away from Bree Franklin because she's able to get a touch on about every hit. So pushing to the pins would be really smart for the Pratt right now.
Just keeping Smokey out of system is going to be key to the game tonight, so they can't set up their hitters. That block has got to be closed. That'll be another big thing for us tonight is we have to keep the block closed, otherwise that ball's coming right through and it's coming hard.
For Smoky Valley, number 2, Elise Ramsey is serving. Again, number 42, Bree, is able to block that.
Now you can't set it right into her. That's what's going to happen. Smokey's middles have great hang time too, so they'll be able to put away about any ball that you send to them.
Good placement by Bree.
So how do you go about attacking a strong middle blocker like Franklin or Rose?
You're going to try and, if you're just constantly getting blocked and you can't get around it, you're going to try and then swing high and get it off, like tool it off. Or you're just going to try and swing around it. Depends on like where you're hitting. So if you're triple blocked in the middle, that's going to be a little more difficult and you're going to have to utilize your pin some more. But usually, like if they're blocking you line outside, hopefully you can swing cross or cut for a kill.
A lot of players after getting blocked will result or fall back into tipping. So as long as you're tipping to a nice, clean, and open spot, that could be beneficial to your team.
Well, let's take this time for either of you to speak about what Dig Pink Night means to you, or how you feel about it, I guess.
Alex, you got it.
Dig Pink is a foundation to raise breast cancer awareness. I think it's a great thing. Ever since I was little, watching Hesston play, I always thought this was something really cool and special that we've always done. So it's just hopefully to wear awareness for breast cancer.
And as a senior, how does your last Dig Pink Night make you feel?
It's kind of sad. I'm gonna miss not gonna be able to come back and put this uniform on, this bright pink uniform again.
All right, well, I think that's all we have from our 2 Swather volleyball players. I think they did a great job, and thank you to Harley and Alex for joining me up in the booth tonight.
Yes, thanks for
Thank you,
having
Jackson.
us.
Well, we are back to action here with the Smoky Valley Vikings about to take on the Hesston Swathers here. Smoky Valley really came off a dominant win against Pratt there in that last match.
Well, yeah, I think that Smoky Valley got in a rhythm right away, and you let a team of Smoky Valley's caliber get off to a hot start. It's kind of all she wrote there. So hopefully the Swathers have a little bit of an answer to the call that the Vikings are going to bring here early on, and if they can withstand this early rush, then the Swathers will have a chance to stay in this ball game.
That attack is going to start with number 17, Abby Rose.
The 6-foot junior middle hitter obviously is a threatening force there out on the court, but don't sleep on the other Vikings hitters as well. They're a well-rounded team.
Yeah, we heard a little bit earlier about how the Swathers were going to try to slow down Rose and her fellow hitters, but, I mean, it's a tall task. The Swathers have played the Vikings in the first match of the season, and I'm sure both teams are much improved, but you have to think that with all the Swathers youth, they've improved more since the start of the season, and so we'll see what tonight's matchup brings us, and we'll see what the Swathers bring.
And I think it's what kind of mentality that the Swathers bring to the match here in this third match of the evening. If they can come out aggressive and not be intimidated by some of these big hitters of Smoky Valley, they're going to be right there. So.
Yeah, you know, coming in that you're going to end up in the 4th and 5th seed and probably end up playing Smoky Valley in the second round of Sub-State. And tonight really is a big night to prove that you can play with them. And
yeah, and we've talked several times now, Jackson, it's all building up towards playing your best ball come postseason. Well, we're getting there, aren't we? And you really hope to see the strides that the Swathers have made. They get a chance to really gauge where they're at against a very, very solid club here of Smoky Valley. So with that being said, it looks like we're gearing up for action here in the Swather Dome. Jackson, what are you thinking here for the Swathers early?
You know, the Swathers are going to have to keep on the attack. What? Yeah, we'll get them in. Yeah, you have to really keep the Vikings on the defensive. If you allow them to get comfortable and get their hitters set up, like I said earlier, it's going to be a long game for the Swathers.
Well, I'm sure Coach Peters, the veteran coach that he is going to have them prepped and ready to go. And we're here for a competitive 3 sets. And it looks like, what are we going to have? A Swather starting here with the serve?
I think it will be the Vikings here as they're the visiting team. The serve will be McKinley Johnson to start things off in this first set.
And McKinley in that match versus Pratt started off with 6 straight points serving, so already off to a little bit of a better start here for the Swathers, a hitting error on the Vikings. And you need a little bit of that to go your way here if you're the Swathers, and you need to play really fundamental volleyball. Good serve there by Humphreys. Oh, and what a confidence boost there for the Swathers.
Yeah, but able to block Rose off that first one. For Alice has to be pumping her team up with that. Gonna be a free ball. The Swathers really doing a good job to start this first set off, keeping the Vikings on attack, and that's going to be a kill for Becker to put it to 3-0. I think the Vikings came in here and they're a little shocked.
Right down the line, too. Becker just goes ahead and a little bit of a long set for her to handle, but she makes the adjustment and puts it right down the line. And if the Vikings give you a free ball like they did for that Becker kill, you have to take advantage because you are not going to get that many against a good volleyball team. Aubrey Boldra with her first ace of the day.
Nice serve there, put Martin in between the two options to return it. She was unable to pick in time. And
that one looked like it was going out, and Swathers are going to have to give way here to the Vikings hitters.
Rose's hit will go long there. A couple big breaks for the Swathers, and Rose hasn't been able to get into a rhythm like she was during the Pratt match. And Keeker will serve up 4-2 here.
Swathers able to set up the attack. They go outside to Becker, and she's able to get her second kill of the match. Well, that block does go out of bounds, but a lot to be said here about the Swathers defense. That front is not scared of going up against Abby Rose.
Yeah, they sent 2 blockers every time and have been successful, and that's going to be a shank pass there from Ferralis. Now give Rose the ace there to get to within 1.
Short serve there by Rose. Humphreys goes cross court, and Becker's hit goes just a little bit wide, but you like to see the aggressiveness. Go ahead and swing it on that ball. We're all knotted here at 5-5. We're going to have a ball exchange. Proper COVID protocols here, Jackson.
Yes, sir. He can't use the infected ball from under the bleachers. Be a hitting error there from Heichschmidt, and Frost will go back to serve, looking to push this Swather lead to 4 or 5. You have to hope, at least.
Well, and I'm sure with Rose in the back row here, the Swathers are really going to attack her as much as they can to get her out of the attack.
And Martin wins the battle at the net there to push it to 7-5.
When that ball's hanging over there 50-50 each side, you have to be the aggressor, and Alex Martin sure was on that one. Good serve by Ferralis. And we have a Smoky Valley timeout with a hot start here for the Hesston Swathers. Jackson, why don't you take us away here with an ad read?
Yes, we'd like to say thank you to the Hesston Chamber of Commerce. They're our newest sponsor, and they would like to remind you to shop local and support community businesses during this holiday season. Thank you to our newest sponsor, the Hesston Chamber of Commerce, a proud supporter of the Swather Sports Network.
Well, what are you seeing here early out of the Swathers, Jackson?
You know, they're exhibiting some scrappiness, which I like to see, and they've been able to get their serves in, which is something that both Ferralis and Martin talked about in between games there that they needed to do to be able to beat this Smoky Valley Viking team.
Well, what I have liked to see so far is it looks like the Swathers are playing fairly loose. There has been a couple things that haven't gone their way. They've had a couple hitting errors, but what it hasn't led to is a Smoky Valley run. And if you can avoid those runs, holy smokes, when we get later into this set, it's going to be really fun.
That timeout will do the work for Smoky Valley as Ferralis' serve will go into the net.
Kind of like icing the kicker there in football. You take a timeout, get them out of their rhythm a little bit, and it went ahead and worked there for the Vikings. So they'll get the side out, and looks like we'll have Elise Ramsey, the senior. Swathers get it right back. Good serve there by Becker.
Yep, painted the line real nice, and a couple of Vikings were yelling out, but they decided to play it, and ends up being a 4-hit there for Swathers point.
And it was definitely going to be close. Another ace by Becker. Swathers have all the momentum right here, Jackson. You got to ride it as long as you can.
Yep, up 5, you know, trying to rattle off maybe 2 or 3 more aces and really take control of this game.
And that one just goes a hair long. 2 service errors for the Swathers account for 2 of the Smoky Valley points. You don't like to see that if you're Coach Peters, but again, Swathers done a good job of limiting the damage, and let's see if they can do it again.
Yeah, if you can go 2-1 with aces of service errors, I think you're happy if you're Coach Peters.
Swathers able to get it back, and Corinne Yoder is going to go back to serve for the Swathers.
They'll go to Rose there, and she's unable to get to the setter. Yoder will be back to serve again.
And you know that's where the Swathers are going to go. They're going to try to pull Rose out of the attack as long as she's sitting in the back row. And Swathers with their 3rd service error, just trading points here with the Vikings now.
Yeah, you just can't do that. I mean, you've given them a 1/3 of their points just right to them, and they'll give it right back, man. This has been the story of service errors, I guess, there after that one from Franklin. And Martin will be back to serve, who's arguably the best server in the last match against Pratt for the Swathers.
Yeah, she's got the hot hand behind the line, and that's who you want serving for sure. She's been able to rattle off a few runs herself. So, and again, another nice serve there. Little miscommunication by the Vikings on where they wanted to go with that attack. Swathers choose outside. Harley Ferralis able to get a swing on it. Good block by the Vikings.
That'll come back, but Rose is going to put that one down, and that may be able to get Rose going here, who's been stymied in this first set so far.
Well, in any time Rose sees that little floater over the net, she is not going to bother. If she sees an opportunity, she's going to try to put it down.
Well, Johnson serving for the Vikings, down 9-14 here in this first set.
Good serve there by Johnson. Abby Rose with the block in the middle. And Swathers did all they could to defend that kill shot by Abby, and just needed maybe one more defender on the backside there to cover that.
That's a big service error for the Vikings there. You really felt like Vikings were going to get back and close this match, but it's still a 5-point deficit for the Vikings, and Humphreys will be back to serve for the Swathers.
And they're going to call a lift. It's tricky territory when you're moving lateral with the hand facing straight up. It's kind of a 50-50 call there for the referee.
I'll go to Rose this time in the middle. She'll tip it over the blocker there. That'll be another lift. They're called on Hesston.
And the question is, why does Rose not put that one down? You got to think that the Swather blockers have a little bit to do with that. They've been all over it. And who was that? Anna Humphreys, Jackson?
That was Humphreys with ace there on the back line.
A little sibling love.
That will be the second and final timeout of this first set. Down by 8, the Vikings really are feeling pressure coming in after dominating Pratt. This time we'd like to say thank you to the Swather Power Club for supporting all Hesston High School activities and athletics. Did you know that the Swather Power Club is the one and only Hesston High School booster club, and that anyone who signs up to be a member automatically enters the student of their choice to win one of 2 $1,000 college scholarships? Right now you can join Swather Power Club for free. Look for the Swather Power Club on Hesston High School website menu or visit them on Facebook.
Shout out to that Swather Power Club for providing the Swathers 3 practice baseball shirts last year that we were able to wear for at least a couple weeks.
Yeah, for the 4 practices I went to, they were pretty nice.
Well, Swather's up 18-10 here. Humphrey's going to try to keep the momentum going. The thing you want to avoid here is a service error, and she's able to do that. So,
and go back to Rose, and she'll split the block right there. Becker and Keeker were unable to get together. That might have been coming back on the Vikings side for a Swather's point.
Well, and if you're Smokey, don't you go to Rose the rest of the way. Don't even mess around with it. Put the ball in the hands of your best player.
Yeah, I think if you're able to, you definitely get it to her. She hasn't been stopped. Nice dig from Haxton, but no one's there for the Vikings. And
they look a little shell-shocked, Jackson. I don't think that they were ready to see the Swathers come out swinging like this.
Yeah, well, I mean, they played the Swathers first game of the year, and that's always a pretty different way to play them. And that's going to be 4 hits on Rose's hitting error there. Swathers are looking to take this first set 20-11.
You know, I've said it once and I'll say it again. Katie Keeker has to be one of the more underrated servers on this team. Something about the way it comes off of her hand, it seems like defenders always have trouble with it.
That'll be a nice short serve there. They'll backside up to Rose. They'll get a nice tip on the ball. That's latest return, and Becker will send it back over, and they'll go to Rose again, and she'll tip it. Nice, finds the hole in the Swather defense there. Nice job by Rose.
Kind of taking what the defense gives you there. Very, very savvy play there by Rose. Easily could have took a full swing on it, but really just kind of let the game come to her there. Swathers will reset their defense. Outside attack by Heitschmidt. Smart play by Ferralis. She knew she wasn't going to be able to set something up.
Blocked by Copeland there. Be a free ball coming over. We'll see if they're able to take advantage of this. They're going to set up Ferralis. She'll be stymied by the net.
Well, and this is one of those momentum points that you talk about, Jackson, on these long volleys, and if it goes your way, those are huge.
Becker's going to find the back court there. Ferralis will serve up 22-12. Ferralis is able to rattle off a couple of aces. I think Swathers may have stolen what a... I'll go to Rose there in the back row. This is where the Swathers have been really successful, and that'll be blocked by Copeland. Swathers are up 23-12, and you have to feel that all the momentum is on the Swathers side right now.
And at some point, if you're Smoky Valley, you got to start swinging a little bit. The Swathers are all over these tips. Great serve there by Ferralis. Free ball now for the Swathers. Time to take advantage again. They go outside to Copeland. She's able to put a good hit on it. Another tip there by Smoky Valley, and Swathers unable to handle that one, but yeah, just a good volley. Back to serve now for Smoky Valley is Elise Ramsey. Good standing swing there by Becker. And Heitschmidt will put that one right down the line. If you're the Swathers, You stomp every ounce of momentum right here if you can.
They're going to set up Martin here. And that block will fall for the Vikings, giving them a little bit of life as they're creeping back into this first set. Down 15-23 here. Shows the mental toughness of the Swathers if they're able to cut it off right here, if they're going to allow it to get close.
They go to Becker on the outside. Heitschmidt goes wide, and the Swathers now get to serve for set point here with Sophia Becker, who leads the team in aces.
Yeah, and she really wants another one right here. No need to let Rose or any of the other Viking hitters get a chance and just put this one away in the first set. She's going to have another service there. She's really struggled to get her service in tonight, especially in this first set.
Yeah, what a mental game serving has to be. It's kind of like throwing strikes in baseball. Nobody's trying to have a service error, but and you've done it a million times. You feel like you should get over every time, but sometimes you get in a little bit of a groove and not a good one. So hopefully Becker can figure that out. Here we get back to work. Little outside tip there by the Vikings. They set up Martin.
Communication error there. Edric Johnson and Copeland were all in that area and didn't quite know who was going for that ball. They'll set up Franklin. She'll go down that right side. 6-point game here for the Vikings.
And this thing isn't over. This is a really good Vikings team. So if you're the Swathers, you have to stay focused and go put this away.
Yeah, with Heitschmidt to serve. She's been able to get her serve consistently in, and Johnson's hit is going to go over the net, and they're going to
Are they going to call a double hit, or I'm not sure how you can
I think
call
he gave
four
the
hits
incorrect symbol there. I think he was meaning to call it in the net. This rotation for the Swathers, at least it seems to me, has really struggled with communication. It seems like there's a couple communication errors. Coach Peters is going to use his timeout here to try to cut it off. Tonight is Dig Pink Night, and we'd just like to remind you that all donations from Hesston High School's Dig Pink Night will benefit the Side Out Foundation. Funds raised go to Sides Out game-changing clinical research specifically for patients with stage 4 breast cancer, the most advanced form of the disease and the least funded area of research. Your support can successfully add years of life to those living with stage 4 and give them more memories with their loved ones. Go to giving.sideout.org/campaign/616952 or scan the QR code on your screen to make an online donation directly to the Side Out Foundation. Well, even if the Swathers are able to close this first set out, you really do not want to do what they just did and let this Smoky Valley team have new life, at least in the second set.
Yeah, you really hope if you're the Swathers when you're up 24-16 you could close it out, and the last thing that Smoky Valley needs is a little momentum. So, but they've got all of it right now, and that's 6 straight points now for Smoky Valley.
That'll be over from Bryn Johnson. It's going to be a free ball, and we'll see if the Swathers are able to take advantage. They've been all out of sorts, and Rouse will take a back row attack, and Franklin's just going to hit that one right back over. Johnson will set up Martin on the outside. She'll be blocked. Franklin's going to win that battle at the net, and it's a 2-point game there. And, you know, in the game of volleyball, it is never over.
And we're going to get a substitution here. They're going to get Anna Humphreys back in. They had Bryn Johnston setting there for the Swathers, and just not in your top 2 of setters of options, so they're going to get another option in there with Humphreys.
This is a big free ball opportunity there. They'll go to Humphreys, who's not really a hitter, and she's going to go out. Coach Peters is going to use his second time out of the set, and, you know, it really is that youth from the Swathers. You can see it in their eyes. You know, they were ready for the big moment, but when the big moment came, they just crumbled, and now they're looking at making a 9-point lead with set point. And allowed the Vikings all the way back, and now it's only a 2-point game.
Well, and just like anything, you can see momentum a mile away, and the really good teams are able to sniff that out and stomp out that spark early and not let it turn into a fire, and that's when it gets out of control. So
I'd like to say a quick thank you to the Fuquay Insurance Group for your support to the Swather Sports Network. Make sure to check out Fuquay Insurance for all your insurance needs.
Well, Swather's still with plenty of opportunity. The positive here is you still have the lead. So at some point you got to remember that, and you're going to be able to receive serve here and hopefully go put this game away.
I'll go to Martin in the middle. She'll go for the tip. Be a free ball coming back, and the Swathers are kind of lucky they didn't have Rose in the back, but Franklin's going to tool off the block there, and it'll be knotted up at 24. That's a nice comeback for the Vikings, but I mean, if you're the Swathers, you're really just trying to pull out this first set and try to get some momentum to start the second one.
Bryn Yoder able to dig that one up. Smoky Valley able to get away with the point, and Heitschmidt on a 10-0 Smoky Valley run. Wow.
Yeah, it's quite exceptional to, I mean, not even make an error in 10 points, but I mean, they'll set up Copeland, and she's going to get blocked. That'll be the set for the Vikings. I mean, to make a comeback like that, you really have to think that they're the more experienced team, and they obviously are with a couple juniors, a couple seniors out there, but they're not a relatively old team by any means.
Yeah, and one thing I noticed here, Jackson, was early on when everything was going the Swathers' way, one mistake didn't feel like that big a deal, but as the Vikings got momentum, one mistake felt like a really, really big deal, and they started to compile and obviously lead to a giant Smoky Valley comeback. And you got to give credit to a great team like Smoky Valley on not giving in. It would have been easy to see 24 up there on the scoreboard and say, okay, let's regroup and come back the next set, but they said, no, we're just going to go ahead and do it right now, and hats off to them.
Yeah, it really shows you the mettle of a team when you're playing at a tough place to play, down 9. The other team facing set point, and you manage to make a comeback.
And if you're Coach Peters here, your biggest goal right now is to inspire life back into this team. Obviously, you can do it, right? You got up double digits on an awesome Smoky Valley team, so the potential is there. Now you got to recapture that and come out ready to fire here with a 0-0 game.
Yeah, that was one of those sets where you just really see the inexperience of the Swathers, and they can no longer use that as a crutch anymore, but they just have never been in that situation where they've been up against a really good team and just were unable to close it out. Just could not, I mean, even didn't have any great hitting opportunities to even close it out there.
Well, I can remember just a few years ago, a young Swather baseball team up, what was that, 7 runs against a really good Larned team.
A good Larned team.
And,
hopefully no Larned people are watching.
In the 7th inning, And Swathers end up giving that one up and getting walked off there at Larned. So
Do you remember that game? And they have come very far, wouldn't you say?
I would say that the Swathers have grown in many, many ways on that baseball field. Still got to hit the fastball.
And for the Vikings, I think they kind of proved it in that last run there that they can play mistake-free volleyball, and they don't need to overpower the Swathers. They just, I mean, they had a lot of hitting errors, a lot of service errors that allow the Swathers to get that lead. If they don't do that, I think they'll be fine.
Well, it's going to be Anna Humphreys to get us started here. You got some brotherly advice, Jackson?
You know, sometimes Anna's a little too conservative. I think she needs to just go for a couple kill shots to try to get the momentum back here, but letting Rose take a free swing is not what you want to do. And after that block, and Becker's unable to slide in there, and Vikings will take the service back pretty quickly here.
Looks like it's going to be Belle Peters and McKinley Johnson in here for the Vikings. And Johnson back to serve. Good serve there by Johnson. Stymies the Swather attack, and Sophia Becker's hit will go just a little long. 2-0 Vikings. And they're going to call a lift there on the Swathers.
Yeah, and Humphreys there, a little awkward with off the net retrieval.
Interesting to see a double-armed lift. I don't know that I've ever seen that.
Yeah, that's one of those where, like in basketball, it just looks awkward enough that you feel like you have to call a travel. Maybe it necessarily wasn't one.
And you can't have that if you're the Swathers. Down here early, service errors is what's really sparked that Smoky Valley run, and you got to stay away from those.
Yeah, you look back to Becker serving set, pulling out, and goes straight into the net, and the Swathers really never got a better opportunity, and that's going to be blocked. Combination of Rose and Peters, and that'll put.
You're really looking for the Swathers to come together, be great teammates right here. There you go. There's something to build on if you're Sophia Becker. You got to rally around each other right now, Jackson. Things aren't going your way, and you can tell that the Swathers feel that way too.
I'll set up Rose, and she's going to go out of bounds. Smokey's arguing for a tip, but I don't think they're going to get it. And Pratt will serve. Only down 3-5 here after what felt like a real dominant start to the game for the Vikings.
Good serve by Feralis. Humphreys will set up Becker, and that set attempt will go a little long, and teammates there to pick her up.
I'll put Rose back to serve for the Vikings. This is really where you want to attack if you're the Swathers. With Rose in the back row, you don't have quite the hitting dominance you do. She's in the front row, and proven there is Hodgson's hit will go long, and Becker will serve 4-6, and we'll see how she recovers from that pretty costly service error in the first set.
And no doubt the Vikings definitely have multiple hitters they can go to, but when you've got Rose in the back row, you've got to take advantage of that. And Swather's unable to cover the tip. We're going to have a couple substitutions here for the Vikings.
Yeah, pretty smart play from Franklin there to take it over on that second hit. Back to that back line where no Swathers were at.
Looks like Elise Ramsey will take the ball here for Smoky Valley. She'll put a good serve over the net. Brooklyn Dietrich will go to the back row of the Vikings.
That ball almost bounced off the ceiling here and be unable to recover off tipped block. And Ramsey will serve up 8-4 here. That's gotta be. Coach Peters is going to use first time out of the game. Score 9-4. I'd like to say a thank you to the Hesston Chamber of Commerce. They would like to remind you to shop local and support community businesses during this holiday season. Thank you to our newest sponsor, the Hesston Chamber of Commerce, a proud supporter of the Swather Sports Network.
Well, the Swathers have their work cut out for them here, down 5 early in this second set. Jackson, put yourself in the mind of Coach Peters here. What are your words of advice?
I think you just have to remind them that you were in that first set. I mean, you were winning by 10 points at times, and that you can play with this really solid Smoky Valley team. And I think it's more a matter of belief than any like execution thing on the actual court.
Oh, good attempt there by Heitschmidt with the pancake, but unable to get it back over the net as Smokey and Corinne Yoder will go back to serve here for the Swathers.
We go back row attack, and Rose will put that one right down between Frhouse and Elliott.
She's comfortable back there in the back row too. That's what makes it difficult. She'll swing it from anywhere.
Yeah, they really haven't gone to her in the back row a lot, but we'll see if that changes after that kill.
And a hitting error there by Martin. I'm sure she would love to get another crack at that one. And it's Heitschmidt here for Smoky Valley.
Franklin will put that one down. Any pass that's going to go over the net is going to be put down by Franklin or Rose when they're in the middle. You really have to be good with your passes and keep them on your own side.
This rotation matchup has been the worst for the Swathers, undoubtedly.
Yeah, this is where Smokey was able to make the comeback last time, but they'll cut it off with the deficit only being 6. Martin will be back to serve, who had some nice serves in the first match against Pratt, and we'll see what she can do here, down 6. And another service error for the Swathers. Really can't do that if you're trying to climb back into a match. Just give the ball back to the Vikings.
It's hard to remember the last time the Swathers didn't have a service error to end their rally.
Yep. It's really been the story of the night so far. Likely nearing double-digit service errors for the Swathers. They're just unable to get any momentum going, and Coach Peters is going to use another timeout, down 8.
You have to. You're down 8, running out of time here, and you can't let your team check out at this point.
This time, we'd like to say a thank you to BMG for your sponsorship to the Swather Sports Network program. And if you're listening in and want to sponsor the Swather Sports Network, please contact Clint Stoppel at the Hesston High School Athletics office. You can get his email on the Hesston High School website. We'd love to support and be able to shout you guys out during the game.
And there has been plenty of viewers here, and you would have absolutely good use of your money and a sponsorship to go towards a really nice program here at Hesston High School.
Franklin to serve for the Vikings, up 14-6.
It's looking a little easy here for Smokey Valley.
Yeah, Rose has decided that she, with double blockers coming, she's just going to tip to that outside there. And Swather defenders haven't been able to get out there. And Humphreys will try the dump set. That'll be sent right back by Peters. And Frous is going to get blocked by the net. And you really have to think, how different of a ball game would this be if the Swathers were able to close out that first set pretty quickly. Now they're looking at a 10-point deficit, and the way Smokey's playing, I don't think they're going to let them back into this game.
No, but you got to take advantage here if you're the Swathers. If you got any hope at making a comeback right here, a little bit of a run is going to go a long way, and it doesn't have to be 7, 8 points. How about 3 or 4 without a service error? I think that would go a long way here for the Swathers. So Humphrey's able to get over the net. Good tip by Harley Ferralis. Swathers with 2 in a row there. Let's see if they can turn that into a little bit of a run.
Yeah, with what's going on now and trying to avoid the service error, Humphreys is who you want to have back. Has the highest serving percentage on the team and has arguably been the best Swather server in this match. Ferralis was unable to take that care of the opportunity off the overpass, and Rose is going to put that one down. Oh, Johnson to serve for the Vikings.
We're going to have a Smoky Valley Viking in the net. Look like 14.
Peters.
Good serve there by Keeker. Forces a Smoky Valley hitting error.
If you're the Swathers, you're not trying to get them all back at once, just get a couple. And Keeker is going to miss-hit that one. It's not even going to make it to the net there. Really not what you want to see for the Swathers.
Yeah, it'll be the story of the night. If you're Coach Peters, a lot of what ifs. What if we'd even gotten half of our service errors over the net?
Nice pancake by Martin, keeps that ball alive. Frost will send it over, but Rose is going to tip it over, and Humphreys makes a nice play, and Becker's going to backpedal and not be able to get that one over the net. Be 19-10 with Peters to serve for the Vikings. Paxton's going to leave that one short to net. And got Ferralis back to serve. And if there's anyone you want to serve to try to make the comeback here is Ferralis, who Quinchion is able to rattle off a couple of aces.
Way to hang there by Ferralis. Able to set Becker up. Gets the Vikings off the attack. You got to take advantage now if you're the Swathers. They go outside to Copeland. She tries to go cross court down the line and just a hair long.
Unfortunate for the Swathers there after the overpass from Humphreys that the Vikings were unable to get Rose or another Vikings hitter set up. And Becker will serve here, down 8.
Big swing by Heidschmidt.
Service error there from Ramsey.
Corinne Yoder back to serve. Goes to the back row. And everything going right here for Smoky Valley. Even a hit into the net is working out for them. So.
Yeah, it's tough to see after you really felt like the Swathers had that first set in the bag, and you know it's going to look a lot farther away of a match than it really was. But
well, and if you're Coach Peters, I think this has got to be a building block going into Sub-State. This is where you had this team at one point. You felt like you were in control of the set, and got to keep it in perspective. So.
yeah, and a big point is, I mean, how much the Swathers have improved. You know, they played Smoky Valley the first match of the season and look like they shouldn't even be on the same court, to be quite honest with you, from my perspective. And you know, they've played a good close set, and this set has been pretty competitive after a starting run from the Swathers, and they're not out of it yet. I mean, it was farther away from this the last match, and we almost called it over. But
yeah, you'd like to see a little bit of give Smoky Valley a taste of their own medicine here, wouldn't you, Jackson? What an interesting turn of events that would be. So, but you can't have service errors. That's what they proved. Smoky did last match. And
Peters will put that one down, and I think we'll have Johnson back to serve for match point for the Vikings.
Well, no better time than the present, Jackson. Only one way to make it happen now if you're the Swathers. You got to go get the rest of them. Martin will set up Humphreys, who sets up Becker. She'll take a full swing at it. Smokey able to defend, and then they'll go long on their attack. So there's one.
Yeah, he only needs 7 more kicker to serve here. Struggle with service errors in this match, but we'll see. She's got to get it in. Open with the block there. They'll set up Peters. They'll set up Rose, and she'll put that down. That's what the Swathers were unable to do in that first set. It's just have a hitter you can go to who you know if you set her up right, she's going to get that kill.
Yep. And unfortunate for the Swathers, things could have turned out a little bit differently. Who knows what the game would have been like had the Swathers not given away that first set, but they do, and they're going to go home 0-2 against Smoky Valley here in league action. So.
Well, there are a lot of good points if you're a Swather fan. You know, you played with them a lot closer than you did the first time, and you know they're going to come up against you, hopefully in the second round of Sub-State. And
You know it's doable. That's the biggest thing that you got to remember if you're Coach Peters and you're the Swather club right here is it's doable. It's right there for you. And you may not be the team that everybody expects to go to state, but you have an opportunity, and you've seen some good volleyball here out of the Swathers at times. So if they can put it all together, who knows what kind of run we'll go on.
yeah, these are the type of losses that can really make you come together as a team, which I think the Swathers could really use. Just improve communication and improve the energy on their team, and they're competing with some of the best in the state.
I would have to agree with you, Jackson. Well, from Hesston, Kansas, thanks for joining us, folks, and we'll catch you next Tuesday.